just spotted a watch somewhere here. That. So I left my machine over there. Does it say ROLEX? Well, but you can tell if it's genuine. If there is a stamp on the reverse, if there is no stamp, it's not a genuine ROLEX. Well, it does say there ROLEX there. You see it? And obviously, if it's a ROLEX, a genuine ROLEX, it's a waterproof ROLEX, so it should have survived the tides and the River Thames. And it looks to me like it's a genuine one, because that's the logo for ROLEX. Anyway, I'll do my research and I'll keep you posted. I haven't been to the foreshore for a long time, so that's a good welcoming to the River Thames. It's like a button. Initially I thought it's a very tiny little coin. It's a button. I think it's a navy button. Yeah, Royal Navy. Tiny little one. Usually they are twice that size. There you go. Right, first coin of the day. That looks like one of the early Georges. Hopefully I should be able to see the portrait, either facing right or left. So that's a good way to identify coin. But unfortunately I can't see anything there. Yes, you can. No, I can't see anything. It's quite thin. So I'll try some, sometimes I rub kitchen foil to highlight the details, and that really helps. So I should be able to see something there. So I'll do that later. Right, here we go. Looks like a very, very small penknife with mother of pearl on both sides, which could be quite nice if I clean it properly. Yeah, it does look like it. Quite a small one. Very, very small. It's lovely. It's really nice. Over there. I can clearly see it's not a complete one, but it looks like the bow is intact. Not really. Maker's mark on each side. Does it look like a letter or like a symbol? As soon as I cleaned that one, I noticed that there was another one. Can you see it? There. Fingers crossed. It's a nice complete one. No, I don't think it's a complete one, but the pearl is. There you go, another one. So those are the initials. If you carry the pipe like that, the first initial on the left hand side is the first initial of the maker, and the one on the right hand side is the surname. So in this case, I believe it's an I, and I think it's a P, so we can actually research that to find out who actually made these pipes, or what were these pipes, or this particular pipe directed to the 1700. Yeah, do you agree with me? That's a 1700, late 1700s bow style. Another pipe, one of those days. Pipe. So that looks like one of those with 1800s decoration. So that's the surname of the person. I think it's an E, and here's the G, which is the first name of the person. If you hold the pipe like that, so first initial is the first name, and the one on the right hand side, I think it's an E, that's the surname, and I can just about see some writings there. I'm afraid I can't read that. Can you? Does it say blown? Maybe it's WES.TR, you know, brown, sorry, not blown, brown. Brown, possibly WES, excuse me. Anyway, I'll investigate that, but it's a nice one. So I think it's a fourth or fifth clay pipe of the day. So here we are in Great Peter Street in Westminster, as you can see there. And this building here, number 16, which is 16A, it says there, in 1795, I beg your pardon, someone called James Harrison occupied number 11 Great Peter Street, which is now number 16 Great Peter Street. And here is Great Peter Street, all the way. Westminster is down that way, House of Commons, and down that way it goes to Victoria. So in 1795, someone called James Harrison occupied number 11 Great Peter Street in Westminster, London. He was a pipe maker. That period. Years later, he moved out of London and bought a farmhouse owned by an old friend of his named George Benson after his death. Records show that in 1898, a George Brown, aged 25, a pipe maker, started his business at number 11 Great Peter Street, exactly there, which is now number 16. He was married to Nancy Benson, the daughter of George Benson, James Harrison's old friend. So that's the connection with George Brown. George Brown died in 1824, aged 51, and was buried at St. Margaret's Church Yard nearby. George Brown left his entire estate under the terms of his will to his second wife, Sarah, but with a condition. If she decided not to continue in the trade, then his business would be made over to his brother, his younger brother, William Brown. Sarah continued the business until her death in 1826, aged 25. William Brown, George Brown's younger brother, aged 34, took over the business in the same year. He stayed in number 11 Great Peter Street, now 16, as I said, until 1841. He moved production to number 42 New Peter Street, which is somewhere nearby. But a year later, business ended. Number 11 Great Peter Street, now 16, was demolished in 1856, the end of an era of pipe makers. So that's the story, and that's the connection. George Brown, William Brown, and James Harrison. And that's the location where we are. On a very quiet Sunday afternoon. He looked initially like a pen knife that was attached to this stone here. As you can see the detail there. But as I managed to take it out, it now looks like to be honest, I'm not sure. I thought initially it might be a pen knife, and then thought maybe it's a knife handle. Now I think again it might be a pen knife. Yeah, I think it is a pen knife, so that should clean up quite nicely. Another one from my collection of old pen knives. I'm sure this one is that old, early 1900s maybe. But you know, still a keeper. Nice little button here, found there. Can you see the shank poking out there? So that should clean up quite nicely. And who knows, there might be some details here. Found another coin here. Well, not another coin, it's the first of the day. Do I see George III facing right? Yeah, I think so.